So yesterday was June 1st, 2025. And if you are new to Houston, or if you're just exploring Houston as a potential place to live, June 1st is the official start to hurricane season. A hurricane is a large tropical storm with extremely high winds and typically a boatload of rain. It's the kind of storm that will just steal your roof, just like that. Just take it. Patio furniture, cars, it does what it wants. And they are absolutely no fun to go through. But if you live in Houston, it pays to be prepared. So while we're out driving today, I'll try to throw in some helpful tips on, I don't want to say making a hurricane less painful, but you just need to be prepared, right? Especially in Houston, when the hurricane is actually like on top of us and it's going to be here in like 12 hours, the store shelves are sold bare. There's nothing left. Like stuff that you would never ever buy. Like, who the hell buys Manwich? I don't know, but it's all gone when there's a hurricane. Oh. So I am traveling north-ish on Kirby. I took Westheimer over here because I've said before, I'll say it again. If you know Kirby and you know Westheimer, you can get anywhere in Houston. So we are on Kirby, and we are rapidly approaching Shepherd Drive. We've gone the opposite direction before. Now we're going this way. And today we are going to travel through the Heights, then into the Northside, and then into the 5th Ward. And then we will leave the 5th Ward via I-10 West, so you can see what a pleasant experience that is, because it sucks. All right. So this is Shepherd right here. And what we're going to do is, okay, you go over Shepherd and it becomes Allen Parkway. And then we're going to go through a light or two, and then there's like an exit off of Allen Parkway onto Wall Drive. We're going to take that exit and we're going to head north, which is that way. And Wall Drive will take us across Washington Avenue, underneath I-10, and then it becomes Heights Boulevard. And then we're going to take that a little bit so you can get a feel for what it looks like. We'll cut down one of the back streets, and then we will take East 20th, eastbound into the north side and to the 5th Ward, and that'll be that. It is 94 degrees outside right now. It's hot. It's humid too. It's that sticky heat. Which kind of goes part and parcel with the beginning of hurricane season. This road sucks so bad. Okay, need to get in that lane over there, but there's a truck. I'm gonna cut him off. Come on over, pal. And this light is Dunlavy. All right, passenger cam is kind of grouchy today. We've been going toe to toe for about 15 minutes now. You better watch yourself. So Micah's hurricane tip number 1, and it should actually be number 2 because it's about number 2. Don't go crazy with toilet paper, right? Just don't. I mean, buy toilet paper. I mean, use toilet paper if that's your deal, man. But I mean, I use toilet paper. Don't. But the trick to surviving a hurricane is not the toilet paper, it's the water to flush the toilet. And so tip number 1 is prior to the hurricane reaching your home, your shelter. Look at that Z, little vert. Fill your bathtub up with water, and then you can get like a bucket or something, like a big cup, and then get some water and pour it into your toilet, and it'll flush your toilet. No, your toilet does not work on electricity. That's not how toilets work. It just moves water. It's all about water pressure. I'll put a thing up there, and you can watch how to flush your toilet with a bucket of water. So that would be tip number 1, is fill your bathtub up with water. It's easy to do. Obviously, if you plan on drinking that water, you may want to either clean your bathtub appropriately. They do make these things. They're like big bathtub-sized food-grade plastic bags, and you can just put the water in the bag as opposed to just straight in the tub. Drop some bleach tablets in there, and then you have potable, drinkable water. And it usually comes with like a jack. It's called a water bob, B-O-B. It's an acronym for something about water. So that's your first thing, is water. All right, so we're turning onto Wall Drive, and directly underneath us is the bat colony on Wall Drive. So if you ever want to come see the bats, there's a place over there and a place over here and the bridge, and you can just hang out and watch the bats take off. They usually leave around sundown, dusk. So there you go. That's Memorial Drive beneath us. And you can get on Memorial Drive if you want to. You just take this little exit over here. It's like a little curly Q. You're on Memorial. Tip number 2 for hurricane season is you need candles. Power is probably going to go out, right? Because that's what hurricanes do. And if you have ever looked at my Instagram page, or if you've just kind of like looked at a picture of Houston, you will have noticed that all of the electric lines, don't even start with me, mister, are above ground. Right? Look at them. They're freaking everywhere. And what happens when the wind gets here? It knocks them over. So here's the new HEB on Washington. This is Washington Avenue right here. And of course, we're going to get stopped at the red light. But the Urban Legend is over here for your smoking needs. Star Pizza. Can you see Star Pizza? Yeah, you can probably see it. It's over there. There's another one down on Shepherd and 59. We passed by that one once. But the original is actually over there across the street behind us. But anyway, that's enough about Star Pizza. I like it. Rockefeller's is here. I don't know if... I have no idea what's going on. I don't really pay much attention to the local music scene anymore. So we were talking about tip number 2, which was candles. Candles, unscented candles. Now, you may have candles laying around your house. You may be one of those candle people, and that's fine. I got nothing against it. But the real trick is you need a Bic lighter, right? That's the easiest way to light a candle. And if you go to Walmart and you go to like the outdoor grilling section, they make lighters that are they're about a foot long, but most of it is like a tube, and the flame goes down the tube and comes out. So you can actually, if the candle is right there, you can like light it from over here without burning your fingers. So it's a great investment, and trust me, I've burnt my fingers on enough candle matches and Bic lighters. So get the long one. It's really cool. It'll definitely make lighting candles a little less painful. All right, over these railroad tracks, and I don't even know if it's still standing, is what used to be the Art Car Museum. Yep, there it is. It's still standing. Let's see if I can drive by. So everybody's pissed because I'm driving the speed limit. Look at that, art car, it's still there. There's a parade every year. It happens like in March, I think. The art car parade. And if you're not familiar with an art car, when you get to Houston, you'll see them out and about. But they're cars that people like turn into like works of art by like gluing shit to them and painting them and There's all kinds of crazy stuff. All kinds of crazy art cars. All right, so here is I-10. That is east. That is west. And now we are in the Heights. Welcome to the Heights. What are the Heights? The Heights are one of the original Houston neighborhoods. I don't know a great deal about the background, but you can imagine that this was a pretty snooty area to live in, because these houses are nice, and these are like bazillion-dollar houses. The price of these things are ridiculous. But if you want like white bread, very neighborly kind of Andy Griffith living, this is your joint. Just bring a couple $1 million with you, because it's expensive. It is expensive. Is there anything fun to do here? Lots of restaurants. They do a lot of festivals here. I told you, festival people. Lots of small businesses. I have a former client who lives out here, and she has a yoga studio. So yeah, this is definitely the place to be if you're kind of wealthy and you want to live in a very highbrow section of Houston. Now, I'm going to cut down one of these side streets here and take you to see some of these bungalow type places. But the Heights is very nice. But when we get onto East 20th and then it turns into Cavalcade, it's like you cross a street and all of a sudden goes from really nice to what the fuck just happened? Yeah, it gets not nice very quick. But we're going to go check it out, because I think it's a great neighborhood. If you're into the Houston rap scene, the Houston hip hop scene, the Ghetto Boys are from the 5th Ward, so we're going to go check out their hood. Maybe we'll see them. I doubt it. But this is the Heights. And Heights Boulevard is kind of the main drag. One block over is Yale, like the school, Yale Street, Yale Boulevard, and it looks just like this, only it doesn't have an esplanade in the center of it. So this is 11th. It's a nice street to turn down, and you can see some of these old houses. It's not mine, but you can see they have like assigned bike lanes. That is just a sign of whiteness if I ever saw one. Yes, black privilege. Pardon me. Nice little wall art there. Is that a dog? All right. It's cool on these side streets because there's a lot of trees and it's shady. And it's 93 degrees right now, so it's kind of, and it's a sticky hot today. It's unpleasant. Hopefully we'll see one for sale that we can look up online and see what the price is. Ooh, this guy's gonna trim something. So part of what I'm doing today is not just showing you these neighborhoods, but I'm reconning the locations for my next Instagram photo shoot. I'm kind of a fish out of water here because I don't know much about this neighborhood. I don't know what's over here, and I'm very curious. I know the Heights. I've had clients out here for years. It's the Heights, right? And nothing for sale. It's pretty interesting. And some of the really old houses that haven't been well taken care of have been torn down, and they're putting up these big 3- and 4-story townhomes on them, and it makes the locals just rabid because they're like, fucking up our neighborhood, man. It's historical. And it is. And it's all nice. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but calm down. All right, so our next street to turn onto is going to be East 20th. This is the heights, man. This is all you get. There's a Santa Maria. All right, here we go. Address is, we're on Cortland. Street number. Nobody puts the street numbers on their house. 1526 Cortland. We'll look that one up and see what they're asking for that. And then this one's for lease. No numbers. I have no idea what the address is. Maybe I caught it on passenger cam. So like every other street is a stop sign. But pardon me. They put so much vegetation right up to the sidewalk you can't see. So you gotta pull out into the street, and then you almost get clipped by a guy jamming down the street. Who has the right of way? It's my fault for putting my car out in the intersection. All right, we're almost to 20th because this is 18th. Like, this guy has the right of way. You got the right of way. You don't have a stop sign. You can go. You guys don't have stop signs. Oh wait, they do. My bad. Like, see that house right there? They're gonna tear it down and build like condos on it. Eventually, I'm just telling you, like that one too. All right, so here's East 20th. Ooh, a little MR2. All right, so there's a police helicopter up there. Okay, so we're safe. All right, so we are eastbound on East 20th, heading towards 45. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to travel down the street. It will eventually turn into, I believe it's a West Cavalcade. I don't know if there's an East Cavalcade. I would assume there is. But we will journey down here and take a gander and see if we can find some cool spots to potentially photograph Virgil. Virgil is nice and clean right now. Oh man, these roads are horrible. Oh. So this light that we're waiting at, if you go left, it is West Main, and it will take you up to the North Loop, just west of 45. So 45, and then West Main, and then the Loop. And somewhere over there, I think it's actually on Airline Drive, Airline. There's a farmer's market, and it's been there since the dawn of time. If you live in the area, or if you're going to be in the area, look it up on Google and check it out. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's like actual farmers. They have little stalls, and you buy really nice tomatoes and avocados, and they're fresh, very fresh, and typically very organic. I'm not like a super duper stringent organic food guy, but I have a IBS, TMI, I know, but I have to be really careful with what I eat these days, because if I don't, it turns my guts into a freaking volcano. And so I appreciate things that are gluten-free, dairy-free. I like tofu now. At first I was like, this is kind of weird, because it's kind of squishy. It's like eating a sponge. But no, you can do some nice stuff with it. You can grill it. You just have to be careful. You got to press all the water out of it. All right. So enough about my guts. Go to the farmer's market if you're in the area. You'll enjoy it. Tip number 3 for hurricane season: have an evacuation route. When hurricanes come through, they usually go from left to right. From they're east, they're on the west, and they're traveling east. And getting out of Houston is you've got only like 3 or 4 major roads. Highway 6 and I'm assuming 1960 are both officially designated hurricane evacuation routes. They will take you to I-10 or 290, which will put you in the general direction that you want to go, because that'll be taking you out of Houston heading west and or northwest. So you'd either be going to San Antonio if you go I-10, or Brenham, and then into Austin if you take 290. Know how to get to those places and be prepared to move. Since you're watching these videos, I'm assuming that you have a car. When they say hurricane in the Gulf, just go fill up your car, right? Make it a point to at least have half a tank, because if you have to drive, and you have an empty tank, you're hosed. So tip number 3 is have your vehicle ready and pretty much know where you're gonna go. So I live right off of Highway 6, south of I-10. So I'm just gonna go, if I have to evacuate, I'm going up Highway 6 to I-10, and then I'm making a left and we're heading to San Antonio. And that's gonna be that. When Hurricane Rita came through Houston, and just to give you a sense of how long ago this was, Hurricane Rita came into Texas about a month after Hurricane Katrina went through New Orleans. And at the time, Diane and I were on a road trip. So we tried to come back to Houston down 59, and we couldn't get past Cleveland, Texas. So we had to turn around and go all the way back up to, we didn't go to Texarkana. We went up to another town whose name I can't remember, but it'll probably come to me. They're doing some serious construction over here. And they're doing construction on Westheimer between, say, Wesleyan and Kirby. So if you're using that as a major thoroughfare, either expect delays because it's down to one lane, or just don't go over there. So gasoline in the tank, and know how to get to I-10 or 290, whichever is most convenient for you. Now, if you live south, in South Houston or south of Houston, they will open up the, I ain't letting that fucker through. They will open up the toll roads. Airline, that's the road. So you go that way, left on Airline, and that's the farmer's market. Excuse me. For as humid as it is, my mouth is super dry. They will open up the toll roads for free. So don't be too concerned about that. I mean, if it's legitimately an evacuation, you can jump up on Tollway H or the West Park Toll Road, or the Hardy Toll Road, or whatever road you got to get on. Just do it, and know your neighborhood too. I think that's more like tip number 4 is know how to actually get. No, this is going to be like 3.1, and that is know how to get out of your neighborhood and on the freeway and out that way. Practice it. I mean, because it's serious. When everybody, if they have a mandatory evacuation, you're going to be on the road with a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, and it's going to suck. So, if you can pack a cold ice chest full of drinks, smoke a joint, calm down and just relax. All right, here we go, North Freeway. So this is actually 59. So we're going to do 59 first? That's crazy. All right, so once we cross over this monstrosity, this isn't 59, this is 45. North Freeway is 45, yes. So this is 45. That's south to downtown. That way is north to, say, Dallas. But you can go to the Loop, North Loop, head out to the airport, so on and so forth. All right, so we are now out of the Heights. You can kind of see downtown over there. Nah, not really. And now we are in Northside. So we are now on West Cavalcade. Well, they're just saying Cavalcade right there on that street. All right, so the last time I was here was never. I have never been down this street. So this is interesting. That is very, very exploded. Right, here's Fulton Street. And what we're going to do is we're going to find Lockwood, which it'll be a while, and then we will make a right onto Lockwood. So this is the Metro Light Rail for Main Street and so forth, and it's about to go in front of us. It says Fannin South. So I guess it's going to go to Fannin South. And there you go. Let's see what we got over here. Car stereo window tint over there. Dairy Land Restaurant over there. Make sure there's no train coming. All right. So this is very residential. There ain't no businesses up in here. I would imagine most of these houses date back to early 1900s, 1920, 1930. Most of these houses do not have slab foundations. They're on piers. A lot of these houses did not originally have electricity. So the electricity, I don't see any, let's see, okay, so they run the power lines down the center of the block. I guess the houses back up to each other. So you have this power line, telephone line, all this line goes right down the center, and then it branches off to the individual houses. Like in my neighborhood, all of the electricity and all of the utilities are underground, which is nice because you don't have to deal with seeing them or like maintaining them, because that's what happened during the last storm that came through Houston. Actually, it was that weird winter storm we had a couple years ago, the derecho, and all the trees froze and fell on all these exposed power lines, taking them out of commission. And there were people that went months without power. What was that last storm? We didn't have power for a week. Now we have a generator. We invested in a generator because our neighborhood, like, it went out. The power went out just like a couple days ago. It was sunny. We went out to go do something. We came home and it was like, why is the generator running? It's because the power went out. So yeah, all of our utilities are below ground. So that helps us to a certain degree, but certain infrastructure just, it's above ground at some point, and it gets knocked over. 92 degrees. Oh, we got a train up here. That's cool. So there's some new construction here. These new 3-story townhomes. You can see some right there. Yeah, so you get a nice mix of the old and the gentrified. Hardy Street. Okay. Looks like somebody's working on that one. These are reasonably new. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's quiet. Nobody really walking down the street. It's too damn hot to be outside. Oh, look at that! The bicycles have their own signal. They had a green before we did. How does that work? All right, I'm in no hurry to get up to this train. Those are ugly. Okay, so this is kind of what I was anticipating right here. A little bit more old industrial. Yeah, like there's some kind of grain mill thing there. I don't know if that's actually grain. There's a big ass antenna right there too. I don't know. There's another one over there. Is it triangulated? I don't see a third. I don't know what those are for. I guess we'll see it when the train goes by. When was the last time you sat at a train? I sat at one yesterday. 2 days ago. Sunday. Nope, yesterday. Today's Tuesday. No, today's Monday. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Today's Monday. Saturday. I went Saturday. I got stuck at a train. Do not hammer on car. Well, that just seems like a kind of obvious thing. That one has a beaver on it. Canadian Pacific. The beaver. What's going on over there? Nothing. Okay, so let's go over some more hurricane tips. So 3 is just a combination of car preparedness. Have your car. If you don't own a car, reach out to Harris County. It's like FEMA. It's the flood disaster emergency. I don't know who the hell they are. I'll figure it out and put a link somewhere. But there is an agency in Houston that deals with local Houston City, Harris County disaster relief. I don't know the name of it. Drawing a blank. But contact them. They typically will either point you in the direction of an official hurricane shelter or put you in touch with somebody who like buses or some type of transportation out of the city. It doesn't mean you have to go, but there are just certain times where it's like, you should probably go. Our neighborhood during Hurricane Harvey, which was like 7 or 8 years ago, fine. We did not flood at all. We had power the entire time. There was no issues at all. But your neighborhood may be completely different. I know Meyerland had a ton of issues, just issue after issue after issue. It floods, there's no power, there's no water. So it's a matter of just being prepared. So it's not like the day before the hurricane and you're trying to figure out what to do. Know in advance, like where to go and how to get there. If you have family in Houston who are not ambulatory, reach out to them and let them know, hey, it's hurricane season. You need to get prepped. Because no caboose. What a bummer. Because it's a madhouse. Because most people don't prepare. Watch out for these two guys. He's wasted. You can tell by the way he's walking. He's drunk. All right, let's go. Let's roll. All right, and up in front of us is 59. Oh my lord! And another set of tracks. Let's see what we got over here. I would love to photograph down there, but I just don't know that I could get down there and get back. Doesn't look like a place to turn around. There's nobody behind me, so don't worry. Check this out. So this is supposed to be some kind of a trucking depot, hence the big ass antenna. I don't know what this dude's doing. Maybe getting a blowjob or something. I don't know. This is very heavily wooded over here. It's dense. You cannot see back there. That's interesting. More train tracks. So yeah, this is definitely train track city. Right here would be great. So this is Jensen. Remember that, Leon. Write that down, please. Jensen Drive and Cavalcade would be a great photo opportunity. Oh yeah, there's some nicer places down there with some overgrown vegetation. All right, so that's the north side. Kind of not all that exciting. And here is 59, south that way, north that way. And once we go under East Tex Freeway, we will be in 5th Ward. Actually, you can see the sign down. Well, I can see this first neighborhood is actually called Kashmere Gardens, and then you go down to Lockwood and you go right, heading south, and then you're in the 5th Ward. Please do not ask me to explain the ward system. Look it up on Wikipedia or something, because the 2nd Ward is on the other side of I-10, south of the 5th Ward. So I don't really understand the numbering convention. And then the 6th Ward is back where the Heights is, between the Heights, south of I-10, east of Heights Boulevard, which is actually Wall Drive, and then out to downtown. That's the 6th Ward. So you got the 5th Ward, the 6th Ward, and the 2nd Ward. Like, this doesn't make any freaking sense. So there's really not much over here. This is all residential behind this initial street scene. Here's a bayou of some sort. It's not labeled. White oak, greens, I don't know. Soul food. All right, welcome to the 5th Ward. What do we got here? Sing On Fresh Meat Supermarket. So this is a very, very old neighborhood. The 6th Ward, I know a little about 6th Ward because I worked there for quite a while, and that area was built by, I believe they were Chinese immigrants who came to Houston to work on the railroads, all these railroads, Hirsch Road. So when you go down to the 6th Ward, like the streets are some of the streets are like brick. They still have brick roads. It's pretty cool, and a lot of very historic houses. As a matter of fact, the building I worked in down there was a historic place. It was the almost at the Langford grocery store. It was the something grocery store. It's right there on Silver Street and Kane with a K. Kane and Silver Street. The Silver Street grocery store, the Kane Street grocery store. Teeny tiny little place. United Methodist Church. What is this, a Bible study? Hello. He's like, we don't see your kind of cars down here all the time. I know. Ooh, that house is turquoise. Yeah, mostly residential. Okay, here's Lockwood. So, I don't see anything that's like ridiculously photogenic. However, there's these old houses in these neighborhoods. I mean, there's got to be something photogenic that's not like a grocery store or, holy shit, like here's Hank's Fish. Like, would people, I don't know, do you want a photograph there? I don't know if anybody wants to see that. I love graffiti and wall art. See, it's all locked up. Here's the liquor store. I drink liquor from the store. I go to the liquor store. Big ass bump. Whoa, whoa. Hand wash. Cool, very nice, very nice. That'd be cool. So yeah, right here, Crane with a C. That'd be, I could take some pictures here. This is great. I love this. Yeah, this is old Houston. This is what, when I, like, if you were to come to Houston and say, like, show me around, this would be a place I'd bring you, because this is very historical. It's a predominantly black neighborhood. So yeah, don't be offended if people kind of look at you weird. Especially if you're driving a bright blue car on a Monday. No, I'm not looking to score. I'm just looking. So this is Collingsworth. They're planning on doing a whole bunch of construction on 45, and I think part of that construction involves tearing up either the 2nd Ward, which is that way on the other side of I-10, or more closer to like the Northside area. And it's very controversial because they're going to expand 45 from like 3 lanes and 4 lanes up to like 8 lanes, and that's in one direction. So be on the lookout for that. I'm kind of keeping my ear to the rail on that, because there's it involves the Metropolitan Transit Authority, Metro, the people who do the buses and the trains in Houston, and they're a bunch of criminal crook motherfuckers. And the Selena Food Mart, very fresh, crisp. So anytime they're involved in a roadway project, you know. Oh, okay. Look down there. Okay, so that is a park. And that would be fantastic. I don't know about this. See some guys sleeping there. I don't want to wake them up. Some kind of park over here. What is this? Oh, you can see downtown. And this is the railroad track. This is the railroad yard. Okay. So we are definitely coming back down here. I think we can squirrel our way in down here. This is all fenced off. Can you see downtown? Probably not. We will in a second. Maybe. Downtown. Nice old buildings. Kind of distressed, I think would be the architectural term. Now, would I say move to the 5th Ward? No. I don't. Look at this car. It is a Coolidge? Is that what that said? I don't know what that means. Definitely not a great place to purchase a house. No, I do not want anything. I do not need a blowjob. I do not need crack. But I appreciate you thinking of me. But I think you need to, I need to be aware of this. I like to see this because this reminds me of what Spring Branch used to be like. And it's home, right? It's home. You come down here, it's home. All right, so we are approaching Lyons Avenue, which means I-10 is right here. Okay, so that's the 5th Ward. I think we have some possibilities. The rail yard. We'll get on Google Maps. Try to figure out how to get in there. But yeah, we'll get some cabooses in there. All right. So this is I-10, and we're going to get an I-10 heading west. And we're going to take it on the north side of downtown, just so you can see what it looks like to go through downtown on I-10 heading west. Someday we'll go east. We're going to go out to the Budweiser Brewery. But for now, let's just get on I-10 and scope it out. All right. So if you want to exit 59, you got to go to the left lanes. Oh, shit. So do I. Traffic going this way typically isn't bad. Look out for these things where trucks are getting on the freeway and you don't want to like smash into them because that would suck. Change lanes and let them get on the freeway. All right, so 59 south is that way. 59 north is that way. And I-10 west is this lane here. So there's downtown. Yeah, the other side of the freeway in the morning is super duper, we're going downhill by the way, super duper jammed up. If you remember my first video when we came into downtown and exited Smith Street, it's just over there, and so you would have to come all the way through there to get past the traffic that jams up. And in the afternoons, westbound, this gets jammed up. So if you can avoid this in the westbound side in the afternoons, great. If you can't, get on Lockwood, go down Cavalcade, and especially if you're gonna, here's St. Arnold Brewing Company, so it's a local brewery. So 45 south is the left lane, and 45 north is going to be in front of us soon. If you want to go downtown, exit San Jacinto, especially if you're going to jury duty, because it's going to put you on that side of downtown where jury duty is. That is University of Houston downtown, that building. And then I'm not really sure what these other buildings are. They look pretty new. I want to say that, okay, that's University of Houston downtown. Okay, so all that is University of Houston. That is the prison, the Harris County Jail. And here's that traffic I was telling you about. So this looks like people who are trying to get on the 45 south. Right, and remember they've closed off Taylor or it's either Taylor or Sawyer. So that's probably why there's traffic. And of course, if you want to go on 45 north, those 2 lanes over there. And I don't know what's to our right. It's just a big hole in the ground and with trees. I'm imagining that's where there's a bayou down there of some sort. It looks like just a big hole. It's a big, deep valley. Well, this sucks. But it's what we got, right? So, we're going to go back to hurricanes. So, we were on tip number 3 was the roads, 4 was, I don't remember what 4 was. So we're going to go to tip number 5. I'm not really keeping track, and I surely didn't prepare for this. So, you will, who's honking? Why are you honking? Just fucking relax, dude. You will need to eat at some point. Now this is where, you know, it gets kind of personal, because you may be able to tolerate like pork and beans, right? But then again, you may not. If you stay in Houston and there's a hurricane and then there's no power, guess what? You have no refrigeration. And if you don't have a generator or some way to keep your food cold, you're going to have to eat stuff that's room temperature. Now, I've tried all the MREs. They're really not good. And typically you still have to boil water. Now, you can boil water on a propane-powered grill. It takes a while, but you can do it. And you can, just having a charcoal grill is a great thing. Don't put it in your house. Leave it outside. Keep it a safe way. Keep it a safe distance away from doors and windows so that you don't get dead by carbon monoxide poisoning. When hurricanes happen, the grocery stores, the shelves clear out fast. So, look at that. Swangers. Just understand that you have to eat, so have food available for yourself and your family. Crackers, awesome. Peanut butter, amazing. Vienna sausages, they're weird, I know, but Spam, eat it. It's actually good. Just don't eat a lot of it because it's not good for you. It's full of nitrites and salt. If you have some type of dietary restrictions, such as I do, have food on tap that you know you can eat. I like peanut butter, but peanut butter is high in calories, but it's also high in protein. So if you can eat some peanut butter, eat some peanut butter. Have peanut butter. Get to know peanut butter. If you don't keep peanut butter on tap, try some peanut butter out before you just go to the store and buy Kroger brand peanut butter and find out that it sucks. All right, so all of this stuff that we just passed under is 45, and we've been here before when we did the 45 north into I-10. Here we are again. There's Taylor Street. It is still closed, and I think it's going to be closed for the next 40 years. So just keep that in mind. So food, have food. not that you really need an excuse to buy Chips Ahoy, but Oreos, they're shelf stable. Just saying. Green beans in a can, corn in a can, anything in a can. But don't like buy shit that you're not going to eat, because things in a can get really expensive really fast. Even if you go to the 99-cent store, you know, the reason it's 99 cents is because it's mostly water, not a lot of green beans. So just plan accordingly based upon your food preferences and your family's food preferences, and imagine what it would be like to eat beanie weenies for a fucking week, all right? That's like 5 cans a day, 7 days. 7 times 5 is 35. Family of 4, that's going to be 30, 60, 90, 120 plus 20. It's 140 cans. That's a lot of cans. At a buck a can, it's $140, right? So, you know, plan accordingly, because that shit is expensive. Water is important too. Stay away from alcohol. Not that it's bad for you, but it will dehydrate you very rapidly. Water, water, water. And I don't know like how much water a person needs per day, but I can guarantee you it's like several gallons of water. So if you have 2 bathtubs in your house, Florida plates, fill up one for flushing toilets and fill up the other with potable water. Get yourself one of those water bob things, or clean your bathtub appropriately, whatever it is. Prepare yourselves, because it is now hurricane season. They made the prediction on the news last night. Like there are going to be like 12 named storms in the Gulf of Mexico. So that can go from Mexico to Texas to Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and then up the whole East Coast, Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, on into New England. So plan accordingly. And I think that's enough for today. It's 96 degrees. It is blazing hot. And Soxa, Texas has a silver alert. So we're going to be on the lookout for somebody old driving a car from Soxa, Texas. I don't know where that's at. That's Illinois plates. Okay. Thank you for traveling with me today. We will head back to the 5th Ward sometime in the next week or two to do photos, so keep an eye on Instagram for those. This week is all going to be about Hempstead Highway, I think. That's at least what I've got laid out for now. Until our next adventure, thank you for joining me. Passenger Cam has held up well today. Thank you, Passenger Cam, for behaving. Pet your dog for me. It's important. I got some flack about the whole not petting the cat thing. So pet your pet for me. If your pet is not pettable, do whatever it is to your pet that makes it happy. If you have a bearded dragon, give it a cricket. If you got a snake, give it a mouse. If you've got a fuzzy little tarantula like Sydney Sue, just give them some water. They like to play with that. Until our next adventure, thank you for joining me. See you next time. Pet your dog and stay hydrated. It's freaking hot. And if you're going to carry an umbrella, don't carry a black umbrella. Get a white one. Anyway, until then, thank you. We're almost to the loop. New apartments. Peace out. Adios, muchachos. Bye, con Dios.